Dodgers Nation, take a deep breath, because what happened in Toronto was nothing short of magical. The Los Angeles Dodgers made history once again. A heroic ninth-inning home run, a superhuman effort on the mound, and a dramatic 11th-inning victory that sealed back-to-back World Series titles. The sound of that ball still echoes through Chavez Ravine, even thousands of miles away. But with the cry of champions comes a question already echoing through the blue clubhouse. Who will be here to chase the three-peat? 7 players from this championship roster are set to hit the market this offseason. 7 names that helped build this journey. Some as heroes, others as gambles that didn't pay off, and who now face an uncertain future. Who won't be back in Los Angeles next season? The superstar core, Ohtani, Betts, Freeman, Glasnow, Snell, and Yamamoto, remain solid, but the offseason promises to be a heated one. Between tough decisions, emotional goodbyes, and possible returns, the road to a 3rd straight championship has already begun, and will demand more than talent. It will demand heart. Leave a like Dodgers Nation, because the story isn't over, and only those who truly live the blue understand what this moment means. Player 1, Michael Conforto. The first turning point comes with the names now teetering between the past and the future. Michael Conforto, the gamble that didn't pay off. A $17 million contract for a performance that never quite clicked. He arrived with the promise of power at the plate, but delivered a 79 OPS plus. His worst since 2016. He was even left off the postseason roster, watching others take a spot in left field. A melancholy end to a move that just didn't work. The interesting thing is how Los Angeles baseball treats these cases. With high standards and short memory, the question echoing among fans is simple. Does this Dodgers team still have room for gambles like that? Behind the scenes, the feeling is mixed. Conforto seems out of plans, though some believe he could reinvent himself elsewhere. The front office, meanwhile, looks toward 2026 with clear intent. Consistency, not experiments. Fans reacted with frustration, remembering other signings that fell short of expectations. In a team chasing a dynasty, every roster spot matters, and Conforto simply didn't deliver what was needed. In contrast, this episode reveals something bigger. The Dodgers are no longer a team that dreams. They're a team that demands greatness. Conforto was a victim of a standard Los Angeles created for itself. The pursuit of perfection. The roster is so deep, so stacked, that anyone who doesn't produce gets swallowed up. And that's why this story, as quiet as it may seem, says a lot about where this franchise stands today. Player 2, Miguel Rojas. That name is now carved into the history of Los Angeles. The veteran who began the season as a backup, almost forgotten, became the face of hope when everything seemed lost in Game 7 of the World Series. 1 out in 9th inning. Dodgers down 4-3 to the Blue Jays, and then the swing. A home run that soared to center field and made Chavez Ravine erupt, even from 3,000 miles away. It was more than a hit. It was a scream from the Dodger soul. The state of the team at that moment was pure pressure. Yamamoto had already given everything. The bullpen was exhausted. The offense had been silenced for 8 innings. And then came Rojas, the man no one expected. At 36, he proved that heart matters as much as power. And what came next, no one saw coming. Right after the game, Rojas was clear. He wants to play one more season before retiring in 2026. And he wants to do it wearing Dodger blue. He has already announced publicly that he intends to finish his career in Los Angeles, the team that saw him grow, fall, and rise again. And after a home run like that, how could the Dodgers possibly say no? The front office hasn't confirmed anything yet, but the feeling is obvious. There's a near sacred respect for Rojas in that clubhouse. He represents the kind of player the Dodgers value most: humility, work ethic, total commitment. The question for fans is, does he deserve one last dance? Behind the scenes, the reactions were deeply emotional. Betts hugged him in tears. Ohtani, rarely one to show much emotion, called him the heart of the team. The crowd chanted his name even during the trophy ceremony. It was as if everyone knew that moment wasn't just about baseball. It was about legacy. Rojas may not be a megastar with a massive contract, but he's the kind of player who keeps the fire burning when the lights go out. And the Dodgers, now more than ever, need that kind of spirit. And when you think about it, everything fits. Rojas is the opposite of everything that's gone wrong in Los Angeles over the past decades. It's not about numbers. It's about soul. He's a symbol of loyalty, grit, and belief. The player who embodies a fan who never stops believing, even when all hope seems lost. That home run didn't just tie a game. It sealed an era. Player 3, Clayton Kershaw. Just saying his name makes every Dodger fan's heart tighten. It's the end of an era. One of the greatest pitchers the game has ever seen. 18 seasons, all in Dodger blue. And now, with his second straight World Series ring, he walks away like few ever do, on top. The atmosphere around the team during the final stretch of the season carried a quiet emotion centered on Kershaw. Every time he took the mound, you could feel the entire stadium hold its breath. Every pitch felt like a mix of anticipation and nostalgia. And he delivered as always. 11 wins, 2 losses, a 3.36 ERA. Numbers that would be great on their own, but within the context of his farewell, they were almost poetic. When the final out of the World Series fell, Kershaw didn't yell. He just looked up, took a breath, and smiled. It was the end. In the most Kershaw way possible. The moment that changed everything came in September, when he confirmed he would hang up his cleats. No drama, no tears, just the serenity of a man who knew he gave it all. 223 wins, 3,052 strikeouts, and a 2.53 ERA over nearly 2 decades. He leaves baseball as an eternal icon, a symbol of consistency. But the question now echoing among fans is inevitable. Who inherits the mantle? Behind the scenes, the impact runs deep. The team already feels the void he'll leave, not just on a mound, but in the heart of clubhouse. Mookie Betts called him the backbone of the franchise. Freddie Freeman said, every Kershaw pitch was a masterclass in respect. And Dave Roberts, emotional, summed it up in one line. He wasn't just a pitcher, he was the Dodgers. The fans, as always, responded with tears, applause, and gratitude. Because Kershaw wasn't just a player, he was the embodiment of what it means to wear Dodger blue. And in contrast, the reflection is clear. Kershaw represents everything this modern Dodgers era stands for: sustained excellence, sacrifice, and loyalty. He's living proof that you can become a legend without ever leaving home. In an age of short-term deals and constant trades, he stayed. And baseball in Los Angeles will feel the absence of that calm stare from the mound, that silent competitor who made history one pitch at a time. Clayton Kershaw leaves as a champion, and that Dodgers Nation is the perfect ending. Player 4, Kike Hernandez, the clubhouse joker, the guy who always did more than the stats showed. On a team full of superstars, he was the one who kept the energy light, the vibe united, the laughter constant, even when the bat wasn't working. But now, with the championship secured and the market opening up, Kike's future in Los Angeles hangs in the air. The state of the team at season's end shows a solid, almost untouchable core, but also a rotation of secondary pieces that needs evaluation. And it's in that context that Hernandez finds himself. A symbol of culture and identity, but one who finished the year hitting .203 with 10 home runs and 35 RBIs. Modest numbers that contrast with the emotional weight he carries in that locker room. In the playoffs, his bat went silent. Just 5 hits in 28 at-bats. Still, anyone who understands team chemistry knows. The Dodgers feel his absence when he's not there. And what came next, no one expected. The uncertainty began right after the World Series. Kike will be a free agent and by all indications, may not return in 2026. The front office is considering younger, more versatile options, and the name Tommy Edman, acquired in the trade with the Cardinals, has emerged as his natural replacement. Still, some voices argue that Hernandez should stay as a cultural piece, because the Dodgers aren't just about talent. They're about chemistry, about heart. The question remains, how do you measure the value of a player who holds a group together even when his bat doesn't deliver? Behind the scenes, the atmosphere is divided. Mookie and Freeman want him back. Roberts calls him part of the team soul. But there's also the colder side of off-season decisions, the one that weighs spreadsheets, age, and production. Kike knows it, and maybe, For the first time, he's ready to say goodbye. Fans react with a mix of nostalgia and gratitude. Because if there's anyone who embodies the spirit of Dodgers Nation, it's him. A player who never hid, who accepted any position, any situation, any challenge, just to help the team. In contrast, Hernandez's story is a perfect reflection of what makes the Dodgers who they are. A team that shines not only because of its stars, but because of the silent soldiers who build the path. If 2025 is his final chapter in Los Angeles, it'll be one filled with smiles, clutch plays, and Dodger blue. And deep down, every fan knows his legacy is already written. Player 5, Andrew Heaney, a name that came and went quickly, almost unnoticed, but one that says a lot about the standard of excellence reigning in Los Angeles today. He arrived at the end of August, coming from the Pittsburgh Pirates, with a mission of being an emergency bullpen option. But in Los Angeles, emergency is just another word for pressure. And that's where the story ended before it even began. At the time Heaney arrived, the team was a well-oiled machine, everything functioning, everything on schedule. They just needed a little extra depth on the mound, and the hope was that he could fill the gap. But in 2 innings, Heaney allowed 3 earned runs. And the Dodgers, a team that doesn't forgive mistakes, moved on without looking back. He didn't even make the postseason roster. At 34, his short stay was another reminder of just how high the Dodgers standards have become. And what came next, no one expected. Heaney's exclusion from the roster made one thing clear. There's no room for experiments in Los Angeles anymore. This team has become a fortress of consistency, where every appearance is a test. Heaney may have been a victim of timing, but he also served as an example of what happens when the standard is perfection. The front office hasn't shown any signs of wanting to bring him back, and fans, honest as ever, saw his brief presence more as a curiosity than a contribution. Inside the clubhouse, the topic barely came up, but that in itself says a lot, because in other times, a failed experiment like this would have sparked debate. Today, the Dodgers have too much depth to waste energy on someone who doesn't deliver. The general consensus internally is that Los Angeles has learned to identify the true Dodger profile. Players who not only have talent but can handle the weight of the uniform. And Heaney, as solid as he might be elsewhere, never quite fit that mold. In contrast, his short stint reveals what the team has become. A precision-built machine where every piece must function perfectly. The current Dodgers aren't a group trying to prove something anymore. They're an empire defending its crown. And in that kind of empire, names like Heaney come and go quickly, but they leave one clear lesson behind. The standard in Los Angeles isn't to be good. It's to be exceptional. Player 6, Michael Kopech, the arm that makes a radar gun tremble, but also the body that just won't hold up. One of the most naturally gifted pitchers in modern baseball. Yet a story marked by pauses, promises, and uncertainty. When the Dodgers acquired him at the 2024 trade deadline, in the same deal that brought Tommy Edman, expectations were sky high. And when he finally took the mound, he showed exactly why. At that moment, the team needed an explosive bullpen boost, someone who could ignite games and shut the door. And Kopech did just that, a 1.54 ERA in 35 innings, pure dominance when healthy. But that, when became the ghost haunting his season. 2 stints on the 60-day injured list. Incredible power, constant fragility. And what came next, no one expected. When October came, Kopech wasn't healthy enough to pitch. The Dodgers had to move forward without him, raising a tough question. Is it worth investing in a talent that can't stay on the field? Because what he showed on the mound was elite, but durability has become his biggest weakness. The front office still sees long-term potential, but health is a real concern. Fans are split. Someone give him another chance, believing that with the Dodgers' medical structure and training system, he could become one of the league's best relievers. Others fear another what-if story, one the Dodgers have lived too many times before. Inside the clubhouse, there's genuine admiration for Kopech. Teammates praise his work ethic and his fiery mentality on the mound. But there's also skepticism, especially after the rotation had to be reshuffled multiple times due to his absences. It's one of those cases where talent and fragility coexist in the same body. The Dodgers know that if he stays healthy, he can be a championship weapon. But they also know they can't rely on something that constantly flirts with the edge. In contrast, Kopech's story is almost a reflection of modern baseball itself. Power, speed, intensity, but also volatility. He's the embodiment of the risk that comes with chasing dominance. If he can stay upright, he could become one of the best acquisitions of this Dodgers era. But if not, he'll serve as another painful reminder that talent, on its own, is never enough. Player 7. Kirby Yates, the name that arrived surrounded by expectation and left surrounded by size. When the Dodgers announced Yates' signing for $13 million in January, the message was clear. Strengthen the bullpen with experience, composure, and punch. He was coming off solid seasons, with a pedigree of reliable closer, the kind of player who, in theory, brings stability. But in Los Angeles, where the level of pressure is almost superhuman, things unravel fast. At the start of the season, the team was structurally perfect. Yamamoto emerging as an ace, Glasnow, Snell, and Freeman in dominant form. The offense clicking. The bullpen, however, still searching for its ideal rhythm. Yates was seen as the missing piece, and for a while it seemed like he would be, until the numbers turned against him. In 50 appearances and 41 innings, he allowed 24 earned runs, 17 walks, and posted a 5.23 ERA, his worst since 2016. Suddenly, the veteran who was supposed to be a steadying presence became a liability. And what came next, no one saw coming. By August, Roberts had stopped using him in high-pressure situations. Behind the scenes, whispers spread that the trust was gone. When October arrived, Yates didn't even make the playoff roster. The same guy who was supposed to anchor the bullpen ended up watching from the stands as the team lifted the trophy. Looked at coldly, it's the kind of story that sums up the reality of the modern Dodgers. Having a name isn't enough. You have to perform under pressure. The internal impact was significant. The analytics team tried mechanical tweaks, but nothing stuck. And the clubhouse, while sympathetic, knew baseball is cruel, especially on a team chasing a dynasty. At 38, Yates may have played his last chapter in Los Angeles. The fans reacted with a mix of disappointment and exhaustion. Another veteran who couldn't handle the heat, some said. Others pointed out that once he was out, the bullpen finally found its rhythm, the kind of irony baseball loves to deliver. In contrast, Yates' tenure perfectly mirrors the Dodgers' current mindset. It's a reflection of a team that no longer tolerates mediocrity, not even from those with resumes. Being a Dodger today means carrying the weight of sharing the field with Ohtani, Betts, and Freeman, and producing results that live up to that level. Yates failed, yes, but he also reinforced the truth. In Los Angeles, the bar is simply too high for anyone not at their peak. And so, Dodgers Nation, this season's story closes like a film blending glory, farewells, and promises of the future. A script that only baseball, and only Los Angeles, could write. Because this title didn't come easy. It came with sweat, faith, and Miguel Rojas' impossible home run. It came with Yamamoto pushing himself to the limit, with Betts and Freeman holding the spine of the team, with Ohtani showing why he's a once-in-a-lifetime phenomenon. But it also came with the inevitable shadows of a dynasty. Tough decisions, expiring contracts, legends saying goodbye. Michael Conforto symbolized the pressure of those who try but don't fit. Miguel Rojas, the heart that beats for this jersey. Kershaw, the eternal one who departs as a king. Kike Hernandez, the warrior fans will miss. Heaney and Yates, reminders of a standard that doesn't forgive mistakes. And Kopech, the talent that could still explode if his body allows it. All of it paints the portrait of a team living both the height and the challenge of being the best. Because winning is hard, but staying on top is a real test. And now, with the core roster secured through 2026, the Dodgers are aiming for the impossible. 3 consecutive World Series titles, something only the Yankees have achieved in the modern era. The faithful Blue knows, being a Dodger is more than just cheering. It's living every inning like it's the last. It's crying for Kershaw and smiling for Rojas. It's feeling that, despite the changes, Dodger Blue remains unbreakable. Because this jersey doesn't just represent victories. It represents those who never give up. Tell us what you think in the comments. Dodgers Nation, and leave a like to show that this passion never fades. This is Los Angeles. This is the home of champions.